Hi, this is 365801 and this is a Reviewing Male Male Romance review video. Now, the title I'm going to be reviewing for this video is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This was published in 2019 and became very popular on Goodreads, and I was lucky enough to be able to pick this up for the Kindle for less than £2. Prior to reading this, I didn't know very much about the plot, but I did know that there was a varied response. There were those on Twitter who said that they only managed to read a couple of chapters, and there was others who had read it and absolutely loved it. So I wondered where I would fall on that spectrum. Now, I wanted to read this title because it fits in with a few of my reading goals for the year 2021. Firstly, I'm doing the Buzzword Readathon, and the buzzword for February is colours, so it fits nicely with my TBR for February. Secondly, I'm wanting to read more prose as I mainly read a lot of manga. And thirdly, as a BL fan, I'm wanting to expand into the male-male romance. I have read a bit before, but mainly it's been yaoi novels, which is a translation from Japanese. So I'm wanting to read some original English male-male romance. Now, the story follows Alex Claremont Diaz, who is a university student, but also the first son of the United States, as he is the president's son, what you could term as political royalty. He has a long-running, unspoken rivalry with actual royalty, Prince Henry of England. Now, when a mishap occurs, which could cause an international incident, the two must feign friendship and are cast together in a series of PR stunts to help try and smooth things over. And whilst pretending to be friends, they soon realise they have a lot more in common, and could become actual friends, or perhaps even something more. Now, I did end up falling somewhere between the two extremes. I at least completed the book, and I did enjoy it, and there were a lot of aspects I really enjoyed, and some that I was not too sure about, but on the whole, I did enjoy this book. Now, as I mentioned, there were a couple of things that I didn't particularly enjoy, or that didn't sit well with me, or that made me feel it detracted slightly from the story, or at least from what I wanted from the story. So I'm just going to go through them just now. Firstly, the pacing, and I think this has to do with the plot as well. What was really well written, what was really fun, what I enjoyed reading that I couldn't put the book down was the interaction between the two male leads. When they were interacting, when they were building their friendship, when they were being antagonistic, when they were being romantic, when the two of them were together, I didn't really want to put the book down and I was reading it. But then there was other aspects, the more political aspects, the underlying plot aspects that seemed to lag and drop. They were more natural stopping points. It was like, okay, now it's time for a cup of tea, put the book down and walk away, and then go back to it. So yeah, there was definitely some pacing issues. It seemed to go up and down, and that's where I can see why some people would have dropped the book at a certain chapter or a certain point and not picked it back up again. Now, the second con that I want to talk about is the alternate reality aspect, which I very quickly realised was what was happening, but I didn't know that this was the case going in. So it wasn't until I'd completed the book and read the acknowledgement section that I knew and understood the author's intention in creating this alternate reality, and therefore, as the consumer, could become reconciled to that intention. But as I was reading it, I did not really enjoy the reality part of the alternate reality. I actually wanted more of the alternate. I wanted it to be more of escapism, more of another world, more of this isn't reality, you don't need to make references to things that are actually going on. It was the reality part of this alternate reality that I actually had issues with. Things like email servers being mentioned. I mean, cutting close to the bone, talk about that. It just felt like too soon. And the fact that this was published in 2019, which is only, 3 years after the fact, really does feel like it's too soon. It's not quite there. There was references to real people and real events and real places, and I didn't mind that so much until it kind of felt like it was very political. And it was that the real political aspects that I didn't enjoy so much, because it's just too soon for me. Now, as a British reader, I do have to address the Britishisms, and some of them were great, some of them were spot on, exactly as they should be, and some of them were not. And when they were not, it really grated. There were certain aspects, certain things that the choice of language, or the reference to real television programs, these are the kinds of things that, because it's an alternate reality, am I supposed to just accept that in this alternate reality, these are the Britishisms? Because I am not. I am living the real British existence, and they are not my lived existence. And so the Britishisms that were incorrect really grated and really took away some of the enjoyment. It made it so that I would read something, for example, the fact that they were supposed to go to ITV's This Morning during a weekend, but that's a weekday show. Something so small like that really took away from the enjoyment, because 3 pages later I was still thinking about it rather than focusing on what's happening on the page. Now, with everything I just mentioned, you might think I really didn't like this book at all, but I did. So there are definitely some things that I want to talk about that I enjoyed about this book. Firstly, it is very well written. I enjoyed the use of different media, so emails and text messages. It felt very much updated and modern, but at the same time it harkened back to a book that was published, I want to say, about 25 years ago, which is Bridget Jones's Diary, which, as we all know, is actually just a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which also utilised letters. So it's that same harkening back to something that we know and we are familiar with and we associate with the romance genre, but also felt a little bit more modern with emails and text messages and group chats and that kind of thing. So I enjoyed the writing. It felt easy to read. There weren't too many issues in terms of inaccuracies. I felt like it was quite good. Some word choices, but of course they were linked to the Britishisms that I've mentioned previously. So overall, a very well-written novel. It felt good to be reading about a vast cast of characters, all very different and unique, unlike a Hallmark movie where it is all just white people. This felt like there was a bit more variety, which is nice. Some of it did feel a bit performative, but I was very happy that they were included. I wanted to have more interesting, different, unique characters. They were all upper class though, that's one thing. They were all part of the high society, which is the escapism aspect, so I understand why they're included. I loved Henry. I loved Prince Henry. I thought he was great. Alex can be a bit grating at times and a bit self-centered, but that was his personality. That was the whole point. And he was the main character, so he was the one going through the personal growth, and I liked to see his personal growth. But Henry also went through his own wee personal growth, and I loved that. He's a wee cinnamon roll. He should be wrapped up in cotton wool and protected. Which is the whole point. That's how I'm supposed to feel about him. So yeah, I enjoyed the characters. They were good fun. I also really enjoyed learning about British gay landmarks. Where is that BBC TV show? I want Prince Henry travelling around the UK, stopping off at all the different British gay landmarks, eating scones and jam and other local pastries and delicacies and chatting to people. I want that TV show, like a cross between the Great British Bake Off and Coast. I think that would be great. I would definitely watch that. That would be a hit worldwide. So yeah, I liked learning more, and I think I would definitely read Henry's book when it comes out. Now, as a BL fan, I'm reading this for the romance. That's the whole point. And there was certainly romance. I just wanted more. I wanted more of the romance. I wanted more of the couple. That's what I enjoyed the most, when it was just the two of them being the two of them together. I didn't really care about the rest of the drama around them, the political drama, the the royal family drama. I didn't care about the rest of their drama. I wanted just the two of them being sweet and lovely together. Or at the beginning, being antagonistic towards one another and be like, ha ha ha, you guys are going to end up together, so I'm loving this. And I wanted more of the romance. I wanted more of their antagonism. I wanted more of their burgeoning friendship. I wanted more of their, ooh, do we have feelings? I wanted more of, oh, we do have feelings, let's be romantic together. I liked that aspect, and I kind of wanted that more front and center. I wanted more. I just wanted more. The rest of the stuff I wasn't all that bothered by, but the romance I enjoyed. I just wanted more of it. Overall, I'd have to say I enjoyed this. This is a good solid read. I enjoyed the romance because that's what I'm looking for. And I wasn't really there for some of the other nonsense with the politics and the royal family. I can understand why they're there, but for me, it was always about the individual story and the more personal story, with Alex going through his journey and with Henry going through his journey, and the two of them together supporting and loving one another and getting to a place where they were both comfortable with themselves. I didn't need the whole coming out to everyone. I didn't need that. But it felt like this book had to have that for the drama, and I didn't really want the drama for them. I wanted them to have what they didn't get. And so I was disappointed for them, and I was angry for them, which is how I'm supposed to feel. I understand that. But with everything else, with the alternate reality and the reality being put in, it felt like that was unfair. Again, another thing in life that's unfair is the fact that they didn't get to choose how they expressed themselves and how they presented themselves. And once again, life, kicked you in the nuts. I really didn't want that. I didn't want. And I don't read romance for it, by the way. I want the happy, fluffy ending at the end, which, yes, you got, but you had to go through it. You had to work for it. I didn't really want to work for it. I honestly did not want to work through the politics of the last 4 years just to get to a happy, fluffy ending for these guys. I wanted them to just have it. And they didn't have to have it out in the open. It felt very much like, oh, do we have to go there? I guess we have to go there and deal with some of the realities of the last few years. So yeah, it's not a full 5-star from me. It's maybe a 3, maybe 3.5 star read. I hope you have found this interesting. I hope you found this useful. I am 365801, and I do mostly yaoi, BL, boys love, manga reviews on this channel. But if you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want, and if you want to see other videos, ring the notification bell so you get notified when the next video is up. Remember, every day is a BL day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.